Calling me black as an insult it's just not a key. I don't know why people think still today in today's day that saying that's why you're black, that's why you're burnt, that's why you're dark skinned is like an insult. First of all, I grew up dark skinned my whole life. I was dark skinned all through elementary school, middle school, my whole life. Growing up dark skinned before 2010 or even before 2015, honestly, was like growing up in Jim Crow era. Nobody liked dark skinned people. So I have tough skin. I went through a lot. I was the ugly, black, Bernie, brown, dark-skinned girl all through elementary school, all through middle school. I was even told at one point in college that my friend was much prettier than me because she was light-skinned. So I've had a long journey of getting to love my skin, which I love my skin, and just like getting to a point where you can't make me feel bad for one, something I can't control, and two, something that's so beautiful about me. Like there are people out here that literally go to the doctor, go to the tanning booths, and they try to get skin like mine. So calling me darky, brownie, burnt, like, okay, babes. Like, if you are taking that route to insult me, I know you have nothing else to say.
If you are a dark-skinned woman, then be sure to watch until the end. I have a lot to say about this topic, but let's first hear what these other ladies has to say.
Y'all, I really want people to have some sense. Here I am checking in at a hotel, and the lady who's checking me in goes, "You're really pretty to be a dark-skinned girl." And I literally made a video about this a couple of days ago. And usually I don't say anything. I just say, "Oh, thank you," like to people who say, "Oh, you're pretty for a dark-skinned girl." But the fact that she goes, "You're really pretty to be a dark-skinned girl," I thought about it. I'm like, nah. I told her straight up, that's not a compliment. That's really like a backhanded compliment. It's not a compliment at all. She's like, "Yeah, I'm just saying, like, to be dark like you're really pretty." You saying it again in a different way doesn't make it better. And I told her that's not a compliment. Like that to me sounds like a colorist ass statement. You're basically implying that just being pretty isn't associated with being dark skinned. Like it's two separate things. And I was like, that's not a compliment. Like at this point, just check me in. You know, I told her it's a colorist statement. It's not a compliment. I'm not taking this shit. It's 2024. Wake the up.
I grew up hating my skin tone. Let's talk about it. I get asked a lot of questions about my confidence, and let me be the first one to tell you that I wasn't always confident in my own skin. I grew up in Seattle, Washington, and I went to a predominantly white school. In the entire school, there were a handful of black kids, and I happened to be the darkest one. I remember one day in elementary school, we were served bananas during lunch. Multiple kids brought their bananas to where I was sitting in the cafeteria and started making monkey sounds. I literally bursted in tears and ran to the principal's office. I didn't finish school that day. My mom had to stop everything she was doing to pick me up. These are memories that I'll never forget. In the 4th grade, I changed schools. My mom thought that putting me in a school that was more diverse would stop the bullying, but things actually got worse. I was called all the names you could think of: burnt, blackie, and the most famous one of all, African booty scratcher. I would get into fights and suspended from school, and eventually in the 7th grade, I was expelled for having too many suspensions. My mom moved me to Senegal, and that is where I completed the remainder of middle school and some of high school. Living in Senegal is where I was able to regain my confidence because there were other students who looked just like me.
As dark-skinned black women, we go through so many struggles. So other from us just being black, being dark-skinned comes with a whole lot of other challenges. Being told that we're pretty for being a black woman is a backhanded compliment that women like myself have received ever since we were young. So these people are acting like being black is a synonym of the word ugly when it is not. Black is beauty. We're literally so beautiful with our rich melanated skin. For many of us dark-skinned women, the negativity started when we were younger. Growing up, I remember every summer I would go to stay at my aunt's house, and my older male cousin would constantly call me Blackie. Like that was always his name for me. Like I've never heard him call me by my actual name. And to make it worse, he was an adult at the time. I think he was about 18 or 19. So he knew exactly what he was doing. And then to top things off, My aunt would never correct him, and looking back now, that man is one of the darkest person that I know in real life, and he was way darker than I am, so I don't even understand his logic. Another thing that contributes to dark-skinned girls feeling insecure is them constantly being told not to play outside when it's sunny, to prevent them from looking burnt or to prevent them from getting darker. So it's not because the sun is too hot. It's not because they might get a heat stroke from being in the sun too long. Nope. It's simply because they didn't want us getting too dark. And this is how that hate for being dark starts getting engraved in our minds. And then this leads to skin bleaching. I have a friend from high school who was a dark-skinned guy. And after high school, he migrated, joined the army, and he met and married a Filipino girl. Now, this guy who was dark-skinned throughout high school is now as light-skinned as his Filipino wife. They now have children, but all the children are light-skinned. But imagine if they end up having a dark-skinned child. Now, how will he, as a father, tell his dark-skinned children to love their skin color when he didn't love his? He would be so hypocritical to do so.
Can you tell me why you started to bleach your skin?
It's like you growing up in school, you have mainly guys making fun of your skin color and calling you charcoal, calling you dark. So growing up, you just start to feel like, oh, okay, no one likes me because of my skin color. Like, okay, I see. So that kind of does something to your head, you feel me? And also we have social media. They do praise lighter skinned women, Latinas, whatever, pale skinned women. So that kind of makes you feel like you're not desired, you feel me? So, and that's why I started bleaching my skin. That's why I started skin lightening because of it, you know? But I do have negative comments, people saying you hate yourself, you wish you were white, this and that, you're a follower, like just a lot of stuff, but I don't really like listen to it. I really don't care. I guess how society sees dark women, like we're basically the losing team. Like who wants to be on the losing team? I felt like lighter skinned women, they were more desired and they get away with more and they have more privileges than I did. And also, I also thought that personally, I also thought I looked prettier lighter.
And I say this from my own personal experience. Skin bleaching is a self-esteem issue, and nobody can tell me otherwise. You bleach because you think you look prettier. You believe it will make you more attractive. Growing up, I always hear the term black and ugly, but it was never white and ugly, nor light skin and ugly. Us mothers have a major role to play in raising our children. We need to let our children know that all skin color is beautiful. Being light-skinned doesn't mean one is superior. There are so many beautiful dark-skinned women out there, not to mention the dark chocolate handsome men. Let's learn to love ourselves. Skin bleaching is damaging and costly. It's something that needs to be maintained for a lifetime. And in most cases, when a person decides to give up skin bleaching, they end up being darker than they were in the beginning. So why even start in the first place? And in the pursuit of beauty, many will find themselves looking ugly and unclean. The skin bleaching chemicals most times can't even change the color of your knuckles, elbows, or knees, and then you'll end up looking awful. Not to mention how the skin bleaching chemicals will change the color of your nails to an ugly yellow tint. Okay, ladies, that's all for today's video. Until next time, stay feminine and sweet.